Hello and welcome to a brand new Five Heart Podcast live on a Friday night. Holidays do weird things, but we're excited to see all of you wonderful people in the Chatterfields tonight. I'm your host, Greg Wahachko. There's the co-host, Minnie Hunt. And you're watching this we're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we are on X. And it is just a pleasure and a blessing to see you all again. Minnie, how are you doing tonight?
I'm great. I'm so excited for your birthday celebration, birthday show. Is the other birthday guy here? Hasn't chimed in yet?
Jason should be here at some point.
Okay.
I'd imagine. I mean, after all, we talked about it.
Yes.
In the show last week. It's in the artwork for the show today.
That was great artwork. Oh my gosh, that was such good, like they call them thumbnails, right?
Sure. I call it random crap to string together quickly. So there it is.
That is so cool. It's a comic strip.
Well, the left part is.
Yeah.
America's, Greg's, and Jason's birthdays. And then, we got, no offense to Jason, I don't know what he looks like, and full disclosure, that's obviously not anything that like what I look like. But the sentiment is the same. Apparently, no matter what, if you type into your AI machine goatee, you're always going to get some type of a full beard. And that's more hair than I have and a more distinguished jawline. But pretty cool cake. And
that's a great cake, yeah.
And I don't know if you can see this, I'm wearing number 42 because that's how old I turned today.
I figured that out. That's a good one, Greg.
That was them.
Really?
That was all the AI thing. I just put something like 42 candles on the cake, on the Nebraska cake, and that's what I got there. So.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And the eagle, very majestic. So.
Yeah. Did you have a good 4th?
I had a non-activity 4th. Like, I didn't leave my house. I fired up the grill, did some burgers in the backyard, and it was pretty sweet. So
nice.
How about yourself? Sweet. You had a busy 4th of July. Yeah. I know we talked about that.
I did. And it was my daughter's 12th birthday along with the 4th of July celebration, and it's practically like living in hell here because it's so hot. So we go to the pool,
but it's dry heat, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, it's and we go to the pool and there's this huge party going on. And I mean, it just it was fun. We had a great time.
Is it like a public pool or?
Oh, so my in-laws have a house at a resort here, and so we go there often. It's kind of cool.
Very nice, very nice. Well, let's say hello to some of the good people who are joining us tonight. Well, you said this at 1:00 this afternoon. See all you corn stalkers. Good to know that you've accepted it. Justin Raji is here. Was first on the scene, but that was at 3:59. So I didn't see a comment before that. I see Fred's at 11:06. Says top 3 is where Dylan may rank of current quarterbacks on the roster. He's starting early. Highlander Gun checked in early. Says so on 4th now. It's okay. I'm still in the top 5. And Fred says Highlander Gun. Yes, you're pretty good. I've been drinking since roughly 11 o'clock, so I'll be in prime form and not talking about missing toes prime.
Oh, great.
Aaron Keene is with us tonight. Hello and happy 22nd birthday. That's awful flattering. Maybe 20 years ago. In fact, statistically, mathematically, exactly 20 years ago, I was 22. And I think Jason's got a few years on me, so but appreciate it, Aaron. Aaron, you just worked your way back up to a Aaron 1B. So proud of you. Well, let's dive right into it because we do actually have he says, I don't know. I commented first at 11:30. All right, well, Whatever you say. And we'll say that's even 11:30 Eastern because Fred was in at 11:06 Central. So, all right. We're going to have some fun tonight. We're going to celebrate. We're going to have some more definitely geared to the off-season topics as we go on. Oh, wait a minute. The unofficial third member of the show. Yep. The Crisp, the Cold, America's oldest brewery, the Yuengling Traditional Lager. Let's get that going. Hey, Greg, and number one panelist. Happy birthday.
I'm the number one panelist.
I mean, I don't
at
see
least I'm number one at something. Hey, I'll take it.
I don't see a number two panelist with us tonight. So, at least Greg. We know that tonight you don't have any competition.
Thank goodness.
We got some wild news that broke today. Yep. Usually we save the day of stuff because the format's usually prepared in advance. But we usually save the day of news for the end because chronologically that's when it would have arrived. But I feel like we have to lead with this one. The defensive backs coach stepped away from Nebraska today as Evan Cooper resigned.
What is this all about? First of all,
I've heard things and I'm not. They're only, I don't even say accusation, rumors, hearsay. And I don't really want to report them because they are, let's say, distasteful. Like, not illegal, just, should you have done that? Maybe not. Maybe you shouldn't have done that.
Well, that's interesting that you kind of say that because I was reading something that said that linked this resignation along with, what was his name? Bob Steger? Was that his name? The tight ends coach from Texas. Remember, he got a DUI last week or last year. So interesting. We don't know.
Justin says we don't know yet. It's been stated for personal reasons. And realistically, like anytime you hear personal reasons and not like legal accusations, we're probably never going to find out exactly why.
That's I like right this one. Comment. MK says, is he dating a Hawkeye?
If Fred says distasteful, why is everybody looking at me? Stop it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean that was the question that Fred posed. What's going on here? Also, Greg's present is no format. We do. We have, and I looked it over. I have been working on this show for the last couple of days. Because the production element that I'm including later in this show, it took a little time to weed through. We'll get to all that later. That's I don't want to get ahead. I know even on my birthday, I don't want to get in trouble for jumping around the format. So we do have a format, but again, we're going to be a little fast and loose with the rules because it's a Friday night. It's my birthday. It's the day after the 4th of July, which calendar speaking makes it the 5th of July. Again, it's my birthday. Anyway, day after a holiday. Fred's been drinking since 11, so who cares, right?
Ooh. Yeah.
Is that too salty of a thing to say?
No.
Cool. So here's the thing with Evan Cooper. It's not that he's, brand new or, only had 1 year of experience with Matt Rhule. He and Matt Rhule have, I don't want to say been tied at the hip, but they have.
They have.
Matt Rhule's taken Evan Cooper with him everywhere he's gone for over a decade.
Mm-hmm.
This
weird.
This is where you tell us their history.
Okay. it's kind of sad to me because it's like the end of an era. He literally has been Matt Rhule's kind of right-hand guy. He evaluates talent. Matt Rhule has trust, they've built a long relationship where Matt Rhule trusts him. He knows what Matt Rhule's looking for. So basically, when Matt Rhule isn't around, he can be his eyes and ears. 11 years. This was going to be the 12th season. Defensive backs coach and passing game coordinator for the Huskers. And like you said, he's been with Rhule nearly every step of the way. 3 seasons in Carolina as the cornerbacks coach and the director of player evaluation. And prior to that, 3 seasons at Baylor, where he was the cornerbacks coach and recruiting coordinator. And he was also Baylor's director of player personnel in 2017. And he played football at Temple. Do you remember that little bubble chart I did where there was linking him to that's where Matt Rhule met him? And he served as the director of player personnel under Rhule at Temple. So it's just, I wish him all the best, I suppose. That's all we can do.
Yeah, you wonder what happened. I mean, again, it's all speculation and rumor and hearsay, and I don't dabble in rumor and innuendo. Justin's of the same mind. Yeah, if it was anything illegal, we would have heard about what happened. Or I mean, that was the thing with. I'm not trying to relitigate or rehash, but like the Mickey Joseph situation. I mean, when there were articles immediately about the DV, accusations and things like that. So the other birthday boy is here. Jason Reeves in the house says, "Hey y'all, sorry I told on Coop he touched my butt." Well, I mean,
maybe it was a birthday spanking.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Oh my gosh. Are we finishing each other's sentences now?
No, but I was just.
What? Maybe
we're thinking alike, which is scary for one of us. No, because it's funny because we're so today for my birthday, my wife had to work and the daycare was open for the twins. So I took my oldest, Garrett, I took him to St. Louis and we went to the St. Louis Science Center. Got to see an actual T-Rex fossil skeleton. Got to show in the planetarium. Had a good time. And he's walking out, and he has this epiphany. Like, we're walking out because we're going to go to lunch. He says, "Oh, Dad, you get 42 birthday spankings." Ooh. And he's like trying to chase me. I was like, "No," I said, "Your mom will administer those at another time." And then when she met us for lunch, and he's like, Mom, you got to give Dad the birthday spankings." I'm like, "No, we'll wait for another time." Let's see. Nebraska Rascal, we all know who that is. It says Evan Cooper was looked at as our possible next defensive coordinator if Tony White leaves. Yeah, we can say past tense on all that. That won't happen. Let's see. Oh yeah, no. This is Aaron Keene says. This is, I think, Minnie's title, Director of Recruit Stalking. It's not illegal, just distasteful. Sorry.
Nothing I do is distasteful, Aaron Keene, even if it is stalking.
Is that the case though? So,
well, Greg.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Here's the thing. So now we have to fill this hole, this gap, because
look,
this was our biggest concern.
You have been warned, right?
What?
Fred said that he's been drinking since 11.
Yeah.
You can't say things that can be borderline.
What did he say?
No, it's what you said.
What did I say?
Something about filling holes.
The cornerbacks That's that has been our major concern as far as positions. And now we're going to need a coach for them as well. So it's kind of not a good time for this to happen unless there's already somebody Matt Rhule has in his back pocket, hopefully.
Well, let's take a look at this idea from James Boardman. James with a great idea here. Chevin Smith Jr. could get a promotion. Currently a recruiting assistant. Was here last year as a GA coaching the defensive backs. Played defensive back at Baylor for Rhule. Was an assistant DB coach for the Indianapolis Colts in 2012. A lot of those seem to align. And the other birthday boy, Jason Reeves, says, yeah, nice one, Boardman. That's most likely. Then Fred says, no. No, I'm not.
Goodness.
Aaron, I cannot even, in good conscience, after the conversation we had last week, I cannot even read your most recent comment.
What? Oh. Hey.
Nope.
Why?
Come on now. We talked about this last week.
It's just your birthday. It's just your birthday, but come on. He says, Aaron, go ahead.
It sounds like what I'm getting nothing that I want for my birthday.
It's okay, Greg. There's always next year.
If I make it that long. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why I might not make it that long after you read this horrible comment.
Aaron King says, defensive back coach gone. We'll be just fine. Now, if it was I can't even say it without laughing. Now, if it was a long snapper coach, we'd be in big trouble. It's true. It's true.
Thank you, Angela.
Aww.
Angela Manny says, happy birthday. Where's the man of the hour? Too sweet to be sour. Stephen Williams also said, happy birthday, Greg. Hey.
Oh, how nice.
It just so happens that the show ended up on my birthday. It was more agreeable to do it tonight than Wednesday night. And we have a good time. It's Jason's birthday, too. Make sure everybody in the comments wishes Jason a happy birthday.
Yeah.
Aaron Keene, in a more appropriate comment, said, Minnie only finishes Greg's sentences when they're both reading the show notes.
Ha, ha, ha.
All right. So, living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the Five Heart Podcast, is currently working on a deal. Maybe this will be the deal that'll finally be able to finance some can coolies so I can keep my hands dry and warm and my beer's nice and cold.
Greg, I brought a drink. Yeah. Nice and ice cold. Yeah. I can't be held responsible for anything I might say once I start. Okay?
This might end up being the best and
it makes me
show.
a little bit nervous. I'm not going to lie.
What is it? Is it like a White Claw?
Yeah.
Oh, God. So it has zero alcohol in it.
Well, I don't know.
I mean, I'm pretty sure.
It does. 5%.
Okay.
That's a lot.
That's fine.
Okay,
maybe for some people. All right. While you crack that, I'm going to explain to the good people watching at home why I might not make it to my 43rd birthday. As I mentioned today for lunch, after we did the Science Center, we went to it's kind of a staple in St. Louis. It's historic. It's been around for over a century. We went to a place called Crown's Candy Kitchen, where they were like one of the original like candy or soda shop and candy shops and things like that. They have a pretty specific menu of like sandwiches. Like you get a sandwich and then you get chips and a pickle, and it's Ruffles, plain Ruffles chips. But they have a tremendous variety of shakes and sundaes and malts and things like that. Even though they don't work at the booths anymore, they still have those old jukeboxes. We had to explain to our son what that was. But this is the sandwich that I got for myself. It is called the Heart Stopper BLT.
Oh my gosh!
And it's exactly what it's all the bacon.
Why even
piled up bacon.
put the lettuce?
lettuce, tomato, Miracle Whip on white toast.
Greg, super simple. You know you're not supposed to be doing this.
No, it's okay. I checked with my doctor. He says if you can kill it or grow it, you can eat it. So that's what I did.
That is not what he meant.
Look at that.
Number one, that's the bacon. White. Oh my gosh. Well, you look like you're enjoying yourself.
Highlander Gun says nice. Justin says yum. James says too much lettuce. That was the trouble on the second half is keeping it all together. Highlander, I think I had 6-7 chips out of the whole thing. I had ordered a sundae. Jeez, what? I've only had half a beer, so obviously. Anyway, I had ordered a sundae to come like after my meal, and it's called the Fire Chief Special. And I don't remember everything that was on it, but after I ate the sandwich, our server comes back and she says, "What are you thinking?" I said, "I'm thinking I can't fit any more in here, so I didn't have to pay for the sundae. They didn't make the sundae. It was great." So Fred says, "Boom, great meal, Greg. Enjoy what could be your last birthday." That'd be good times. Nice. Let's see here. Looks like he's looking into the lost ark. And don't drink the sunscreen. Yeah. And Minnie, are you going to crack open some Boone's Farm in 40 or so minutes?
No.
Do they have Boone's Farm? Like, did you have Boone's Farm growing up?
I think they sell it in Arizona. Yeah. Okay. All right. I don't think I've ever drank any, but yeah.
How old's your oldest daughter? I bet she would know if they sell it in
Arizona. She would not. She's 15.
Okay, we'll wait till she's 16.
And she's a wonderful little girl. She got all A's her first year in high school. I'm very proud of her. And she goes on mission trips to Mexico like every 6 weeks.
So she's drinking something harder than Boone's Farm is what you're saying.
She eat the water? No, she doesn't drink the water down there.
No. I don't. Right. I'm not comfortable reading that one, Fred, if I'm being honest.
What?
All right, I'll do it. Fred says, I can't talk shit. I ingested more sausage this week than a co-ed visiting Frost O Street Sexton.
Oh my gosh.
No. All right.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I think like that's probably the only other thing to say about Evan Cooper is the missed out opportunity for him personally, financially, because his contract was going to be about $2/3 to $670,000. So
yeah. That's gigantic.
So,
well, there you go.
Well, again, we're bouncing around tonight, folks, and that's going to be the fun of it because Minnie's drinking, and that never happens. And I'm drinking, and that always happens. But it's also my birthday, so we get to do that. But we do want to take this opportunity, very heartfelt appreciation, moment of gratitude for all of you who check us out every week, whether you're here with us live on YouTube, Facebook, or X, or if you are catching us on the replay or listening to us at home, at work, in the car, wherever. We just want to remind you that if you are watching us on YouTube, make sure that you hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't, and also ring that bell for notifications. And if you become a member, you'll get some content just a little bit earlier than others. For example, Coronation Overreaction Revisited that I did this week with Haas Reuter. It was on the Purdue game. That dropped about 2 hours early for members, earlier than it did for the general public. So you get a few things just a little bit early. And you also, again, when you ring that notification bell, you'll know every time we set up a new stream or one of our new videos, anything like that. So make sure that you partake in that. This is a tremendous fan family that we have built, and we owe it all to you. So we would still be doing this show with or without you, but we would have a lot less fun. If hopefully that makes sense, and that's not condescending. So
that's so sweet. I like it, Greg.
Aaron says, imagine not hitting the like first thing. Like you jump in the stream, you hit like, and then you jump in the chat and go. So
yeah.
All right. I better say Copycorn merch, copycorn.com.
Thank you.
And John has told me that if I get to Copycorn, now the ball's in my court. He says, I got to get on the site, tell him what shirt I want. And I told him like a year ago. You see how, I'll forgive him. He's got a hole in his head or dent in his skull or whatever. So I'll forgive him. But
he has problems.
Poor John. Poor John indeed. So anyway, as soon as I tell him, I'll assume that the shirt is on its way. And here's this one. Oh, join. Ooh, look at that. You had this member. We appreciate the support.
Oh.
That's no. I'm nice. Discovering all sorts of new things tonight. I shouldn't have said that. I should not have said that. And speaking of our,
and it's just the beginning, Greg.
Yeah. I'm a little scared about where this show's going to end up going. All right. So speaking of Mr. John Dam Johnston, our founder, our fearless leader, and author, you can acquire some of his books over at Amazon, like this one, Been Dead, Never Been to Europe. There's also Manage My Damage and The Curious Case of Benjamin Button's Hole in My Head. I don't know. That's not the right answer, but I can never remember that last one. But well, we'll talk about it later. Lots to talk about tonight. Good job, Justin. Give Greg another fruit basket out of petty cash. Oh, another great video. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Justin. Make sure that you comment on that video how much you liked it. And we appreciate that.
Yeah.
Let's see. If you get on the site and tell him what you want, sounds like a John C. scheme.
Oh my gosh.
And the Chatterfields, Aaron says, Chatterfields have been exerting pressure for a shirt on your behalf, Greg. I'm not saying we did all the work, but you're not wrong. And Highlander Gun, has he ever been to Canada? Are we talking about me or are we talking about John? Because that's where John is now. And he won't be back until later this weekend. That's why he gets a pass.
Real quick.
Yes, ma'am.
Before we move on, we're done with housekeeping, right?
Yeah.
Can we talk about this idea? I love this idea that Paul has. Saying Bill Bush coming back to coach the secondary, won national championship at LSU. Bill Bush is a phenomenal coach. Look at what he did when we needed him on defense.
Right. Yeah, he stepped in.
That's a great idea.
After Frost firing. Yeah, that's not bad. I mean, at this point, any idea I feel like seems valid unless somebody's talking about bringing back Bob Diaco or something like that. I would not be for that.
I don't think Matt Rhule is going to be looking for Bob Diaco to be a coach.
All right. Well, let us move on to some good news. And that is that we received a few commitments from recruits in the past week since the last time we got together. And that's extending the grace of an extra day since we did the show 8 days ago instead of the traditional 7. So let us start. I'll tell you what. I'm going to put the picture up and I'm going to let you pronounce his name. How about that?
No. How about vice versa? Okay, I'll try. I think I can do it. I got this. Okay, I got it.
I'm ready when you're ready.
Okay, Houston Kahana Torres.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, I was going to say.
Okay. There's two A's. Two A's back to back. Ina. Taurus.
I was going to say Houston. Ka'ahena. I think it might be a Hena.
That sounds Taurus. Really good.
I spent some time on the islands.
Oh,
that's
have
a lie.
You?
I've never been on the islands. I've never been out of the continental United States. He's a 3-star center from Honolulu, and again, we always talk, especially with linemen, if you can set up that kind of Pacific, be it Polynesians, Samoans, if you can set up a pipeline, I mean, he's a big kid.
Do you want to know why that is so?
I do, but I also want to read this by Fred. Fred, hey, Macarena. Fred, that might be one of your all-time best, cleanest jokes.
Well, let me tell you about the Polynesians, since we now have quite a few on our roster, starting with Mr. Dylan Rhule.
No, geez, here we go.
The thing about Polynesians is their DNA makes their skeletal frame much larger than like an average person, but also their bones are denser. This is actually a medical fact. Their bones are denser, so that means they're not going to be breaking bones all over the place. What are you doing?
Definitely not fact-checking this.
Yeah. All right. Google it, Greg.
I just appreciate
it's that. True.
Let's see. I don't like that. So we have, this is from the University of Auckland. We have earlier demonstrated that Polynesians have a higher bone mineral density than age and weight matched Europeans in New Zealand. But that looks like that study is almost 40 years old.
But it's true.
They do have well-documented low fracture rates and high levels of bone density, though some research predates the more modern measurements utilizing DEXA scans and quantitative CT. So it's all very interesting. Also, and I'm not trying to start a war, but
good, because you would lose.
No, not with you, just with the public. Do you remember? So you have 3 daughters.
Yes.
And I feel like a couple of them would have been like young and interested when like the movie Moana came out.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the backlash that Disney caught for that?
No, I don't.
They said that, well, the Sleeping Beauties and the Cinderellas all have more narrow waists and slimmer frames and things like that, and Moana was not, I don't know, for lack of better term, more realistic, but I'm not trying to shit on the peoples. Yeah. But sounds like the science backs it up. And of course, Maui,
it is.
Dwayne Johnson's character in that movie was a big fat son of a bitch.
They do have like a tendency as they age to, get more lean towards the obesity side. That's just their body type. So, but it's a good thing that we are looking for Polynesians for
we went down the rabbit hole, folks.
Our linemen. What?
So we went down the rabbit hole and we're sorry.
But it's so important. I mean, I think that's a really important thing to know.
Well, a quick look at Houston's scouting report. Again, he's a 3-star center, the number 1 player in Hawaii. Strong kid with really good feet and balance, excellent lateral mobility, light on his feet, and can slide and mirror, and does really good staying in front of opposing edge rushers. Strong frame, no bad weight, equally adept as a run and pass blocker, strong at the point of attack. So I'm excited. Like I said.
Me too. He looks tough.
But he's not the only offensive lineman we acquired through the recruiting trail this week, Minnie.
No. We got Sean Hammerbeck, number 1 player in South Dakota. I love just getting the number 1 player in their state.
In states, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the crazy thing is, and again, I'm not. This is less a slight on Sean than it is like South Dakota, but South Dakota has like what 5 D1 caliber players, right? I
don't know.
I'm not. Maybe they're more.
What are you trying to say?
I'm trying to say like the 50th best kid in Texas or something might be better than the top kid in North Dakota.
I wrote an article on this.
Okay, I'm sorry.
For Corn Nation.
I feel like I've already overstepped. I'm so sorry.
I think it's so important to have a winner mentality. Becoming the best in your state is a major achievement. And so when you have that mentality, it carries over to other things. And so that's important that we have guys on our roster that are used to being like, fighting to get to the top.
I'm not. I love the mentality. I love the article. The philosophy is sound. Yeah, we'll just go with that. Braska Rascal says, Winter, South Dakota. That's my hometown. Be careful, Greg. LOL.
Yeah, Greg. Watch
it. Aaron says we can only talk about Hammerbeck for 5 minutes because he's not Polynesian.
I know.
Well, let's see
he's
what
a
we
big
have.
Boy.
6'6", 260. 3-star offensive tackle. Has the ability to, project. I mean, project him as an offensive lineman, but is a two-way player. Currently in high school, they are looking at him. I guess some schools were recruiting him specifically at defense. So.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So we'll take a look at him when he gets on campus. But that's awesome.
All right, Braska Rascal.
Okay.
You went to high school with Sean's uncles. So tell us about the family. I mean, in short, quick comments that.
You know what I thought when I saw this name? Great. Yes, get that question out. Sorry.
Well, while he's typing that out, Fred says...
I wanted to say something.
Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. I'll come back to you, Fred. I'm starring yours for later. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Y'all are getting so amazed by what I'm about to pull out of my bag.
Here's the thing. When I saw his name, I thought, oh my gosh, we did it. He's a huge guy, but look at his name. Hey, Hammerbeck. Like, as a coach, you want to be such a cool football name. Right?
Fred says, break it down. Stop. Hammerbeck. Oh,
no. That's not what I was thinking. I never even thought that. Oh my
God. And Fred gave me 2 clean jokes just for my birthday, and then he called me a prick. So, and said he got preempted by Minnie. Guess he's number 3 panelist now. So, I mean, let's pump the brakes on the promotion there, Fred.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see. Now it's all in your brain. It is the song. Here's what's about to go in my brain. The Yuengling can that I just drank, the 12-ounce can, was the last of that case of Yuengling. But saying that Yuengling has become sort of like the unofficial, unspoken, panelist number 2, I suppose. Sorry, Fred. I couldn't do the show without Yuengling. I had to go to Missouri last week. I got some more Yuengling. But here's the thing. They didn't have 12-ounce cans. If I had the Ric Flair music, I'd play it right now. Ladies and gentlemen, 16 ounces.
Is that one of those? Is that one of those cold cans that stays cold?
I mean, I don't know. It's like aluminum
it's insulated.
Can. I don't think so.
It looks like one of those insulated cans that stays colder longer.
No, I don't think so. I just think this is just a 16-ounce.
You can't open it. And you can't even open it.
I got a bad finger, remember?
Oh, how's your finger? Oh, my God.
So here's what's going to be awesome about these. This is a wide mouth aluminum bottle. These are going to go down fast. No, the finger's fine. I mean, I suppose the stitches came out a couple nights ago. It's not going to gross anybody out to just be like, yeah, look, I mean.
Yeah, it's healing.
All in all, doing great.
Yeah.
Let's see. Nebraska Rascal says, well, Sean's uncles were very tall, identical twins who played basketball. I moved away from South Dakota and couldn't tell you anything about Sean.
Okay.
You had one job, Scott. You had one job.
Your job is to be a corn stalker. We want to know every detail.
Let's see. Fred says, I'm like Thanos. I'm inevitable. Okay, well, I am Iron Man. Anyway, also drank 4 Yinglings this week, including a Yingling Flight. Ever had that, birthday boy? I have not. I don't really have a good response to that. Just no. All right, Minnie, let us move on because linemen were not the only players that chose Nebraska this week. We also have an athlete from my neighbor to the south in Kentucky.
Kentucky. 3-star athlete Jeremiah Jones, class of 2025. He is 6'4", 200 pounds. His experiences at defensive back, and the initial comparison is that to like Javin Wright, and he might possibly move to linebacker eventually, depending on his size. And
he committed just a couple days ago. In fact, I'm trying to find it. Well, the first, so Monday, saying on Twitter, saying on X, first, I'd like to thank God for each and every opportunity I've been given. I would also like to thank my family and coaches for helping me through this process. With that said, I am blessed and excited to announce my commitment to the University of Nebraska. Go Cornhuskers. And we're going to talk about it as we go. It's definitely one of the it's kind of the main topic of the night. I don't like the all whites. Don't care for all white uniforms. So just preparing you now that if you have all whites, I may be forced to end the show early.
Okay. I don't want to do anything on your birthday to upset you, Greg.
As probably very smart. I mean, although I feel like it's the one show out of the year that I'll get such treatment.
It's true.
I couldn't resist. Interesting point here from Scott, who says, Greg, with the resignation of Evan Cooper, I hope we still get Bryson Weber. And again, a little refresher on Bryson. He's the cornerback from Texas, 6 foot 2.5 inches, 175 pounds.
He's awesome.
He's a 3-star, and he does have us warm with other schools like TCU, Baylor, Utah, Oregon State. He's warm on a bunch of schools. There's only one school on his list that kind of is not where the rest of them are as far as what's already on the roster, and that's TCU. TCU probably has the more emergent need. But, again, I'm of the mentality of the coach helps talk to you about the situation, but at the end of the day, you commit to the school, not to a coach. So, especially, no offense to anybody on the staff, but like especially the assistant coach, because they can always, be like Tony White and be looking. I would say not looking elsewhere, but have such a successful season that he's being courted by other schools or institutions. So.
Mm-hmm. Well.
Aaron King, you get it. The Surrender Whites, my friend. We have not a good record in the Surrender Whites.
Oh, Surrender Whites. Yeah. Well, I have something I want to say when we actually get to that part.
Okay.
So just hold that thought, guys.
Fine. All right. Minnie, as I look at the format, I see Minnie surprise.
Oh, yeah. Awesome. Okay. Greg.
Yes, ma'am.
I sent you, well, first of all, I sent you something in the mail that I would love for you to open. Yeah. I'd love for you to open it up. Was there a card?
I don't think so.
Yes. But that's okay.
It might be around here somewhere.
Oh my gosh.
Did you wrap the card in the present?
Oh gosh, I don't remember. I don't think so.
No, I don't feel like it. I mean, it doesn't feel like it. All right.
Yeah. This is a birthday present. Just a little.
Shut up. Shut up.
Do you love it?
What? You did not. Everybody. I think she has just bought her way off of the panel and fully on as a co-host. Wow. Where did you find the holy shit?
Yeah, that's it.
This is not.
Well,
Scott wants to know who wraps a card in the present. She didn't. I'm just.
It's okay. I think it was just a little card that just thanked you for everything. But
is it a lock of John's
happy
hair?
Birthday!
This is nuts. Like, I cannot. Wow.
Yeah.
There are so
now
few.
You
of
have
these.
One.
Oh my gosh. That you're gonna have to tell me when your birthday is.
Like, no. It's nothing. No. Listen, guys, you all know this.
If you're gonna get too sentimental, just save it for
No. But Greg, you're more than just a friend. You're also a mentor. So I think that's you said you would like to read that book one day, but nobody will let it out of their hands. And so I just, fun. Okay, but that's not it.
Oh gosh.
Okay, the second part of this
surprise. Fred says, "Wow, Minnie doesn't hate Greg after all. It's like Radar giving Potter a horse on MASH." That's a reference that only certain people of a certain age are going to appreciate.
Yeah, I love MASH.
Fred is impressed, and he does not impress easy.
There you go.
That's wow.
Okay, so the second part of this surprise is something I like to call what?
Scott says mentor. Minnie sucking up now.
Okay. This is go ahead.
No, you're fine. I'm taking a picture of me holding the book and I'm sending it to Haas because he'll be.
Aww.
This is live on the show, everybody. It's not entertaining.
This is what Greg does. He makes us watch him Google, clean his glasses, and take selfies. Oh my gosh!
Wow.
Okay,
that's
hurtful. This part of the show is called win Greg's shirt. And since
like the one I'm wearing,
since this is a party, there's favors as well, but you have to win them. And the favors are.
Wait, I'm gonna pause you. Holy
What?
cow! Not those types of favors, Fred. Not those types of favors.
Party favors. Okay, guys, look, we got the new Nebraska Bug Eaters shirt, and we have the Saturday Our for Hope and Resilience shirt, Coronation shirts. So there's 2 trivia questions I have. Okay, I'll just hold on to these. And okay, this is for the chat. This is how you win them. You have to answer. First one who answers the correct answer wins the shirt, and I'll send it to you. The first question is, so get your typing fingers ready.
Can I answer? I mean, I might get a shirt from you faster than I get it from John.
No, you cannot. The question is, what was the name of Greg's advice show going to be named that he said he was going to have a podcast of?
And Josh isn't here. Josh isn't here to answer that question.
Does anyone remember?
How do you remember that?
Because I went back and watched the show. Because I had to get some good questions. Does anyone remember? Did I stump the chat?
I'm going to see if I can find the old artwork for it.
Do you guys want a hint? It's something that Greg does often that I give him a hard time doing while we're on the show.
Fred says Husker hernia. I do not know. It's not Husker hernia.
Oh my gosh, I didn't think this was going to be that hard. His name is in it, if that helps.
It's true.
And he combined his name along with a very well-known social media.
I don't know about well-known.
Very well-known search engine.
Hold on, I actually have the image. I need a minute.
I don't. Can you share it?
Oh yeah.
Is there room? Okay.
Let me get it, please. All right, we don't have any. No guesses.
No clue. Ask Greg. Oh, Fred got it. Fred got it. Fred got it. Oh my gosh.
Now I didn't come up with that. But I definitely approved it. And it's sitting there on Facebook, like it being housed. Like I'm what is it? Like site squatting or something like that. And that was called when. Yeah.
All right. Fred won the t-shirt. Good job.
Greg Bing. Nobody's using Bing.
Oh my gosh. Guys.
All right, Fred, go ahead and take yourself out of the running on this next one. This is nuts.
Yes. All right. Name the town in Nebraska where Greg started his sports broadcasting career.
Oh, that should be. I think that should be a race to see who's going to get that one first.
Yeah.
I don't have a picture for that one. They're still doing fireworks outside.
I'll go get another beer.
Good opportunity. It's not.
Hastings.
Aaron's got it.
Aaron King.
Shadrock.
Yay. This is an easy one. I know.
Oh.
Well, there you go. We got 2 winners.
Oh.
So
awesome.
If you guys can just email Greg, hit your mailing address, and I will mail these out to you.
Yep. Yeah. hooch3600@gmail.com. Yeah. But y'all know that because you're good people.
That's funny.
Fred says, Fred's establishing a pecking order. He and Aaron Keene are number 1 and 2 Chatterfield, so we love you.
I like that. Yeah. Well, there you go.
So, all right. Haas responded. And he said, "Where did you get that?" with a lot of question marks and exclamation points. And I told him. He said, "Nice." So,
Ooh.
Can I put the email in chat? I don't.
I need your mailing address. Oh, right. You need to put the email in chat.
All right. I mean, what's the worst I'm going to have in this? Hey, if you're going to sign me up for some newsletter or something, at least make it something worthwhile. Okay. All right. Is it time to...
This is a very cool part of the show, people. This next part.
So...
Another surprise.
Well, we have... Well, I mean, I don't know if surprise. I think we talked about it last week, didn't we?
No, we're doing... Are you looking
at my notes? That. Okay. Yeah, all right. So, we've talked about him before. And he Brian Tol, I'm not going to bury the lead. Started podcasting with Brian, I want to say back in 2009, maybe 2010, over at Husker Locker. Husker Locker, for lack of a better term, went down. Largely, I think, because Coordination was acquiring a lot of the talent, including Brian. And I stopped podcasting for a little while, and then Brian brought me on to Coordination. This is 2012-ish, and then we recorded a couple different shows. We did Detasseling the Huskers, which is a lot like this show, except it wasn't live. But people would, again, email in or via Twitter, something like that. I don't have to do that because it was actually called Twitter at the time. Would, put in questions. It was a mailbag show, and that went away for a little while, and we started the 5 Heart podcast. And I think we've talked kind of about this already, but Brian passed away unexpectedly in 2017 in September. And he and I mean, this is episode, I'd have to look, but this is episode like 380 something of the 5 Heart podcast. And it's bonkers to me that he and I did 35 episodes. And on the 36th episode, Haas stepped in as he was playing. Haas was going to be a guest. Haas had been doing a lot of guest work over at the Big Red Cobcast, which eventually was brought on to Coordination, and then those guys got lives as well. But Haas did that first show with me when Brian was in the hospital. That was episode 36. Episode 37 was the first time I ever talked with John. And it was when we did a kind of eulogized Brian after his passing. But what I have for you now, because Minnie, you and I mean, we were talking a little bit on it last week, but then after the show, I was, throwing in some clips here. And I was like, it'd be good to get Brian's voice out there again. Brian was fun. If you thought John was erratic, like Brian was nuts. And in the great way, he was funny. But I put together, I first of all, I messaged his wife, Kelly, and said, hey, thoughts on this? She like, it's great. He would love, that people were, kind of still hearing his stuff. So obviously he passed in 2017. He was not here for any of the Scott Frost stuff. I want to say
Thank
that
goodness.
the last episode that it would have been before the Northern Illinois game that ended up costing Sean Eichhorst his job, which subsequently later in the year cost Mike Riley his job. So he wasn't around for any of that. I think he'd be enjoying what we're going to do now. So anyway, I threw together just a few clips, a few pictures that his wife Kelly sent me. And I was going back through some of those old episodes, and one of the clips, and you'll know, this is definitely like standout stuff, like you'll know exactly. It was like, man, he made that announcement here on the show. So if you'll bear with us, again, it's a little something special, but it's my birthday. And if I want to honor my friend, damn it, I'm going to. So, yeah, enjoy. Welcome to another episode of Detasseling the Huskers, proudly presented by Coordination. I'm Greg Mahochko, alongside, as always, Brian Tol. Brian, you're sick.
I'm sick, but the show goes on. What's the name of the guy they do that isn't coach that they make look like Barney Cotton? What's his name?
Dauber.
Dauber, as like Dauber would do. We got to go on.
Mike Riley's recruits beating Minnesota. Take that.
And it's only a matter of time until Mike Riley's players beat him as well. See what I did there?
Well, they actually beat him last year, so.
Yeah, but, I mean, again, this in the 2016 season.
Yeah, you're getting dramatic.
Obviously, that's what I do. You're the angry one. I'm the funny one.
Anyway, I'm Greg Mahochko, joined as always by my good friend, fellow Husker fan and longtime broadcast buddy, Mr. Brian Tol. Brian, football season is back, and the Huskers are 1-0 after a win last week against Arkansas State. Without necessarily, diving into the X's and O's, which we'll do a little bit, but just how much fun was it just to see the team back out on the field competing?
Sure, it was great. You wouldn't know it because everybody was too busy bitching and moaning about it. So, I'm just saying.
I'll say it and they'll like it.
Well, they won't like it.
Everybody wants to run the ball, 90 plays a game. It just doesn't happen. It just does not happen. I get, the need to run the ball well. Nebraska fans want this and they'll die fighting for it. But if Nebraska keeps to that game plan and loses the game, whose fault is it? Is it the offensive lines? They just got to block better. There's a lot of 90s revisionist history when it comes to stuff like this. Do you want Tommy running the ball all the time, knowing that Riker's behind him? Riker's probably not going to be pretty good. Knowing that if Tommy gets hurt early in the year and Riker proves he can't do it, Patrick O'Brien, a true freshman, is coming in to play quarterback, hell or high water.
Okay, so you told me you found out some news
just today. We have found out that.
Drum roll. Do I need a drum roll?
Sure.
All right, here we go. Hold on, drum roll. That might have been the worst drum roll ever. Hold on.
It's a girl.
It's a girl.
Reverse that.
Strike
like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter.
Yep.
And go Big Red.
This editing is going to be great.
Have a great week and go Big Red.
Love, peace, chicken grease.
Go Big Red, and remember that 5 heart is all the heart you need. Happy Thanksgiving on that note.
For Greg Mahochko, I'm Brian Tol, 5 Heart Podcast. Remember, 5 heart's all the heart you need. Bob Diaco's going to kill the world with 5 heart. Thank you for Coordination.com. Thank you, Jerry Monkey. Peace out.
Remember that 5 heart is all the heart you need.
Yeah. J-Sker tears. Yeah. Bye-bye.
So I don't know how well he said J-Sker tears there at the end. Staunchly all Big Red, no Creighton love for him. So we appreciate y'all sticking with us for that. Again, Brian was hell of a personality, and sobering and crushing. Fred said, "Geez, almighty, didn't know him, but made me tear up." We love you guys, and love you too. So. By the way, if I ever, if the bacon does me in,
Greg.
Well, now there were thoughts in the very immediate interim about what about the show, right? I mean, I've met Brian. I broke bread with Brian. I took local ski soda, caffeinated beverage to him. In the back of our Dodge Charger at the time. But it was, the immediate actions, like, how do I go on? Like, how does the show go on without Brian, who was there for the longest time? And the show continued because I knew Brian would want the show to continue. So I'll say it here publicly on the record. If ever I, Lord, catch a cold and don't make it, get a car wreck, whatever the hell the circumstance might be, please, somebody carry on the show. That's all I ask. So, let's see. Fred says, if the bacon does you in, I'll replace you and be a ridiculous prick to the point people will love you even more. That's all I ask.
There you go. There you go.
So thank you all for, now, again, that wasn't necessarily meant to be, like a downer. And again, I wouldn't have done it if Kelly would have said, let's not. But she's, I know he's a Texas Rangers fan, and when they won the World Series last year, I actually posted on, apparently Facebook has like a version of Facebook that's like legacy. So if you're friends with somebody and they've passed away, their page stays intact. So you can, write things on their wall from time to time. So I wrote on his wall or his Facebook, in fact, it's the last post on there. November 1st of last year says, I know you're enjoying this moment. Wish you were here to celebrate it properly. But because I'm me, I still had to be a prick and say, also still glad my Cardinals won in 2011. So, all right. Aaron King says, Fred Talk. There's the rebranded show name. And Minnie, I don't know if Fred will retain you. So I just, all right.
Okay.
Well, let's move on.
I'll win his heart yet. I'll win him over. You want to move on? Is that what you were saying?
I do, but I was wanted to finish a drink too and not talk while I drink it. Okay, so the last bit of business that we have for tonight is a concept that, I'll be honest with you, I borrowed years ago from another podcast that's no longer, like, for whatever reason, Five Hearts stands the test of time. Nerds United, my other podcast, has been around for 11 years. My podcast, we have a very loyal cult-like following. That's small. I'm not making Joe Rogan money podcasting. I'm not making really any money podcasting, but I do it because I love it. I do it because there's no stress in this for me at all. This couldn't happen on a better time than a Friday night for me to unwind with my friends. This is socializing for me, but like I said, I'll do it till I can't do it. But there's another podcast. I encourage you, if you have like Podbean or something like that, go and search them out. They don't do it anymore, but it was called Tom and Jim's Top 5. And if you're in that 35 to 45, 50 range, I mean, it hits a lot of nostalgia points, and it could be pop culture, but it could be sports and music, movies, cartoons, breakfast cereals, whatever it might be. And I borrowed this concept from them years ago, and I've used it. And what we're going to do is we're going to count down, or I should say, starting to 5, going to 1, some of our favorite Cornhusker uniforms in the 133 years of Nebraska football. Yeah. Right, Minnie?
That's right.
Yes.
This is going to be fun. I mean, honestly, there's very few that are not my favorite. So it's so hard just to pick 5. Like, I had started with like 20. I feel like I like them all.
I need to address this comment because I thought I said, maybe I didn't. Aaron Keene says it's been over an hour and Hansen isn't here. He's officially tardy. Ooh. He did message the show earlier, or not message the show. He messaged me at 9:12 Central. Says not going to make it tonight for your B-day with a frowny face. So he doesn't know what he's missing, but he'll go back and watch it later. And, so. All right. Well.
Should you start or should I? You're the birthday boy, so go ahead.
Ladies first.
Do number 5. No, do number 5.
Okay. My number 5.
Let you go first ever again, so you might as well.
All right, that's fine. My number 5 is the alternate uniforms, and like I haven't cared for a lot of our alternate uniforms that we've had in the last 15 or so years, but I do like the ones that harken back to a moment in our tradition. So I go to 2017 because the throwbacks that we had, or the alternates that we had there, were in honor or homage to the 1997 national championship team. So this is my number 5. And
no way.
Yeah, why? What?
Okay, go ahead.
You don't like it?
Funny. I love it.
Okay. Is it like your number 1 or something?
No.
Okay.
But I was considering this. Really.
So again, I like the mesh look of it. Like the 90s uniforms had a particular style, and I like that the numbers clearly aren't like stitched on, like they are now. It's we're gonna throw this in the screen. We're gonna take this mesh top. We're gonna throw it in the screen printer, and what happens. And so that's why I went with this as my number 5. I probably don't have as much information on all of mine, but
it's fine.
Cool, Minnie. I'll let you go next with your number 5.
I will add my number 5. Similar.
Mm-hmm. The tearaways.
Basic, and it's got to be, put in there. I love just the genericness of it. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Again, and what we'll find with my number 4 when we get to it is I just like the simplicity. I think there are a lot of college football uniforms that by themselves just are really remarkable. I think our home look, well, let's not bury the lead. This is my number 4, and this is just my
my decorations are falling down.
See, I don't have to worry about any of that. My boob light's not going anywhere.
No, you didn't even put a tassel on it.
I forgot. I completely forgot about it. Next week, somebody remind me to put a tassel on my boob light, because I will forget. But my number 4 is just our everyday home white pants, red top, red jerseys. It's like Penn State has an iconic look. Say what you want about Michigan, but their regular uniform is pretty iconic. I mean, there are some that just don't need to be messed with a whole lot. And I do think that Nebraska is like that. That's why I'm kind of picky about the alternates that we've had year over year. Some of them I do like. Some of them are turds in the punch bowl.
Okay. That was nice. The only thing I didn't really care for was the N on the hip. That's it.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. But I love the 2 stripes on the pants. It's a really good look. Just very sharp. Black shoes.
Very clean.
Really, yeah, I like it. Okay, my number 4 is, yeah, I really like this. Now there's some thought about this, and what this does is, okay, there's social psychology behind colors on teams. If you'll notice, like almost all teams have primary colors.
Right.
And a lot of teams have red.
Mm-hmm.
But black, when you choose a black uniform, you're saying we're tough, we're mean. It's just something with the psychology that makes you actually look tougher and meaner. So that's why I like this.
Justice says there's an N on the hip. And it's a bigger N.
But it's a red N. because there's not very much red on the uniform. That's a red N with just one black stripe.
Is this the one that's supposed to be like the
sorry. This is from 2019.
This is the one that's supposed to be like the was this the diamond plate type of pattern? Or was that maybe a couple years? Okay, that was a few years prior then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Roger Moore says Colorado just has prime colors. Well played, Roger. Well played.
That was quick.
I don't dislike those as far as that aesthetic of standing out from the prime colors. It didn't make my top 5. James Boardman says, I don't think Nebraska's ever won a game in black jerseys.
James Boardman.
Sorry.
He should come up with like a trivia game for Nebraska fans. This guy is he's like a hoss. We have our very own hoss in the Chatterfields.
Hoss versus James in a trivia game.
I love
trivia
that
contest.
idea. Yes. We should do that.
Fred says, I hate teams that don't primarily wear all black uniforms because if you have to wear all black to show you're tough, you're not tough.
Yeah. We're not tough.
I hate teams that don't primarily wear all black. Okay. What's the color of winning? Salty one.
Well,
Roger Moore coming in hot.
If I knew that, I think. I mean, geez, I don't know. Red and white, scarlet and cream.
I think it varies. All right, so my number 3. This is old, and it didn't end well in this particular, but it was a different time. My number 3. We talked earlier about the surrender whites, but what we haven't talked about is the all reds. And I'll tell you what, there was a campaign on social media a few years back to resurrect the all reds. By my research, they've only been done once, and that was in 1986. Nebraska wore all red versus Oklahoma. The Sooners won that game 20-17. Now, 80s, Nebraska and Oklahoma were perennial powerhouses. And I think most Husker fans now would accept a closely contested game against a perennial powerhouse. Fred wants to know if I'm high.
I agree. Red, all red, no. Does nothing for me. Although I do like the white shoes with it.
Come on now. Look at that. You know that he's just a monster.
That's interesting.
That man's just a beast.
Yeah.
I'm not high.
Look at those knees.
Honest to God, I put a lot of thought into this. This is what happens when you do a show that's a top 5 show. You can't just wing it, especially when there are production elements to put in place.
What do you think about this idea? Roger Moore says September 7th needs to be all red.
That would be amazing. Night game. I'm not going to call it prime time. It's a night kickoff against a hated rival. You go all red. Our red burns brighter. You're going to have the third end of the third quarter, light and music and fire display. Roger Moore hitting it, man, hitting it.
Okay, and Fred has some fashion advice. He says Husker all red is like Chiefs all red, just looks bad, incongruent. I get what you're saying, Fred, but it can be done well with this day and age and the way that they can do metallics and things like that. I think it could be done really well. Don't you?
I think so. I right. Also, Aaron says, Fred, you misspelled high, but pulled off incongruent. That reminds me of somewhere in my email, I have the text found, but the night of my bachelor party, 15 years and change now ago, I was quite inebriated, and I'm standing in a gas station bathroom, and it's not that bad. It's I had to use the restroom. I had to
Sounds
use
interesting.
And I had my phone out. I'm texting a lot of my buddies who were at the party and a couple of them who couldn't make it. And I misspelled the word buddy, like, because I was like, I love you, buddy. But I correctly spelled inconceivable. Make it make sense. Fred says if we wear all the red, maybe we can even play Holding Back the Years by Simply Red. We could let's do that between the third and fourth quarter. We'll put Colorado to sleep. Roger Moore wants a fans wearing all red.
I think that is awesome.
With that. A red
I
out.
want to see the fans. Okay, this is one thing I'm going to say. Roger Moore is 100% right. Fans, if you're going to the game,
is 100% right.
He is. And I will go a step further to say he is what all fans should aspire to. Because if you were going to wear black to a game, especially when the other team is known to have black and gold as their colors, shame on you. That's all and you know who you are, people that I'm calling out right now.
You talking to me?
All I'm going to say, have you wore black to a game?
No, I've only worn red.
Okay, you're safe. All red.
Justin says, I thought Buddy was going to be autocorrected to something else. I spelled it Budfdy, Budfdy. I remember that 15 years later because some of the guys don't let me forget.
Oh, Fred. Fred, we have nowhere to go with this. From here, I'm afraid that there's just no hope for us. He says he always wears black to the game. Quit shaming me, Minnie.
I do feel like we can maybe go to your number 3.
Oh, okay. And thank you. This one, what I love about this is, well, I love anything vintage. And I just love...
Except for Dylan. Dylan's not vintage.
Yeah, that's so. But from the 70s, 1970, just a real basic look. And I think this is just really great. I love just very clean, simple. You don't have to scream it. Just this is what we are. The N is only on the helmet. It works, right?
This can is clearly corrupted.
You can't open it again?
No, I'm blaming. Oh, I'm trying not to
on your finger.
Open up my finger. Yeah. All right, yeah. I'll just wait. It'll be fine. Don't need my finger bursted open.
Okay.
All right, that's a nice, clean, classic look. I just want to say this: as far as Roger Moore going to that September 7th game, can we start it now? I mean, we're 2 months out. Can we start the campaign for a red out against Colorado?
We're starting grassroots effort right here.
It is not gonna. Trust me, it will. The campaign can not start any smaller than this show. Like in the.
Well, do you notice the 2 shirts that I bought for the giveaway are red? Why would you not? So, Fred, you're going to wear that shirt on game day.
Fred says, "Oh no, Greg Spears trapped like a Husker fan for 20 years." That's a great one, Fred. I appreciate that. Fred says, "In Mini Vision, they all have Dylan faces and lays."
And no broken bones.
No, that's true. All right, so we're going to go on to my number 2. And my number 2 was inspired. Actually, it takes some inspiration. They did an alternate version of this, I want to say, not last year, but within the last couple of years. Or maybe, I can't remember. Anyway, Haas contributed a little bit to this because I told him what we were talking about on the show this week. And this is 1983, the 1983 season uniform, where you have the N on the sleeve instead, no stripes. Again, double leg or double pant stripes. But I think there's a world where we go back to this. Now, again, it's Haas, who was not alive then, but he says this is the first year of the red face mask. Prior to that, they had gray face masks.
Yeah.
But I like I could do away with the stripes. Like I'm not two stripe life or whatever.
Like one stripe?
I could go with just the letter N on the sleeve and no stripe.
Yeah. No, I like the stripe. In fact, what was your fifth? Was it your fifth one that had the wide stripe? Like 3 stripes, 2 skinny and a wide stripe in the center?
Oh. Let's see, for comparison. That one?
Oh, no, just the 2 stripes. Yep.
Yeah.
So there's another one that they had that was 3 stripes. And that looked similar to the one you just showed. That they had, the wide stripe and then 2. But you know what they're doing now? Instead of having stripes, they're wearing those white Adidas bands.
Mm-hmm.
Which is cool looking also. So I can see going away from the stripes on the uniform in lieu of that. You got it open. Congratulations.
I just had my not broken finger. Or I mean not broke, but my not damaged finger, I should say. So that's my number 2. Again, inspired by Haas. God bless him. He's enjoying his weekend as well. So,
and somebody mentioned this is my number 2, and I can't remember. This is the one where it has
houndstooth.
Yeah, but this
I can't do
I
houndstooth.
love, and I know most people didn't like this, but. And it doesn't show it on this picture, but there's this really cool graphic of the N on the stripe on the leg. What does it say?
Said, I bested my beer can and I have a black shirt on. I am tough. I think I'm also bleeding, but that's probably fine.
Yeah, tire tracks. That's what this is.
I honestly thought they were like oversized houndstooth pattern.
Oh, but it's so cool looking. With the white shoes and red I love this. Sorry, Fred. I know you're not an all black uniform type person, but this one is cool, don't you think?
I think the helmets.
What do you think?
I'm not a fan of the helmet.
Oh, this is the helmet too that everybody think it was a matte black helmet, right?
It's definitely matte black helmet. I don't. It aesthetically did not appeal to my sensibilities.
I mean, it looks pretty tough. If I were playing a video game, I'd choose that guy. He looks the toughest out of everyone you've shown me.
Okay, but this is real life. It's like.
But that's why he's only my number 2.
All right. Well, it's not the worst. Like how I just passively like, it's fine.
What the heck, Justin? Dude, I thought I could always rely on Justin. Meh.
Fred says tire tracks because we got ran the fuck over.
Guys, this looks tough.
Fred says, yeah, he looks the toughest, but his ratings are 65 at everything in the video game. Let's see. Nebraska 2014 alternate uniforms. Yes. Oh, Justin, so those were the matte red with the shiny black. I'm going to see if I can't do this as quickly
Oh, I
as
don't
possible.
like those. Blech. Here, I'll delete mine.
No, you're fine. You don't have to delete it. Just get it off the screen for the love of God. No, I'm kidding. Unfortunately, the only photo that I like, the best photo to utilize to represent this.
That's a horrible looking uniform. The one that you're going to bring up.
Yeah, I'm not going to.
This is my all-time least favorite, by the way.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But the helmet is cool. The helmet, on the other hand, is cool.
Of the 2014 alternate? No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
We got.
Okay, let's see it. I think we're talking about the same one.
Okay. I'm going to need you to talk to the people, read some comments while I process this, because I have to save this as a whole new different format now.
We'll start with Keen. He says, I don't like that one. Too organish. Thank you for your vote of confidence. Okay, and then Fred says, tire tracks, because we get run the fuck over. Really, Fred? Okay.
I appreciate
you. And then,
you know, you listen to the show a lot better when you were just in the Chatterfield. I'm just saying.
I know. Roger Moore says, Alabama, Texas, OU, Penn State haven't touched their uniforms.
Yeah.
And Roger Moore says, leave that to Oregon. Man, nobody here's a fan. They're all turning.
So by the way, this is the 2014 alternate helmet. I'm gonna go back to the comments so I can see these.
Can I read one more?
You can.
The Huron XL.
The heron.
The heron, the bird, says we should leave our uniforms alone, in my opinion. That helmet is awesome.
Don't know.
That's a great helmet. Okay, let me ask you guys something.
Oh, God.
Because this is something I've actually done before.
Is this interior design or?
Yeah, take out a little sketch pad. Draw a helmet. Let's see what you guys can come up with. Huh?
I mean, I just want to say.
What would you do?
That was a bad year for Illinois. We ended up winning that game in 2014, 45-14 on homecoming. We were number 21 in the country at that point. We started that year. We started that year 5-0. We lost the next week to Michigan State, 27-22. This was the last time we went to a bowl game. That's right. No, that's not the last time we went to a bowl game. Feels like the last time we went to a bowl game.
Yeah, feels like it.
It's getting close.
I won't even know what to do with myself.
We have spent
crazy.
An awful long time talking about a bad helmet and a bad uniform. Let's move on to
your number one, Greg.
My number one. This is where I will bend my own rules a little bit because I do like the scarlet and cream, the white and red aesthetic. But a few years back, Nebraska put out an alternate uniform that I just couldn't. I couldn't say no to. In the year, I'm trying to find the damn year. I should have been more prepared. I feel horrible about that. Anyway, here's my number one all-time favorite. But again, I think what I like about it is we don't see it all the time. We've seen it once. And I really enjoyed the if I remember correctly, the little promo announce video. Anyway, this is the black shirt. Should come as no surprise, right? The black shirt alternate.
Yeah.
Come on now. Oh. If history is to be believed, 2019. But that's
a good uniform. No stripes on the pants. When you have black and white.
Oh, sorry, Justin.
So dominant like that, a red N is important. Yep. And just one red N right there on the hip.
And it's got to be small. Not too big. Small.
Perfect size. No, I agree with you. This is a good one.
I've been called a lot of things, Minnie, in my life. I've never been called the perfect size.
However, Greg, there's one little thing that I'm not thrilled about on this uniform. Oh, I like the red straps, the chin strap. Yeah, I like that. I don't like the width of the black stripe going down the center of the helmet.
Mm-hmm. It could be a little thinner.
It's really wide. Obnoxious a little bit. But this is a good one. I'm not going to lie. You did good.
I do what I can, where I can, when I can. Sorry. I mean, also, let's not, I don't want to say I'm getting roasted, but Fred says, those sucked. Who did we lose to that week? I mean, it was 2019. We lost to a lot of people, all right? McCaffrey started that game and we lost.
But we look good doing it.
I'm trying to figure out exactly what game that was. Y'all just talk amongst yourselves.
Okay, so we're gonna go with Roger Morris says that would make a great motorcycle helmet.
I think he's talking about the last one, the predominantly red one.
I think he's talking about this one.
No, he you got to see the time when he said that. That was 3 minutes ago. We're still talking about that red helmet.
All right. And Fred says, I bet Minnie likes the red straps. Yes.
So it wasn't Northwestern because we won that game.
Oh my
God. I'm trying not to text him because it's almost 11 o'clock. I'm like, Haas would know exactly who we lost to that week. Shit. Goodness. All right, Minnie.
Well,
let's roll on.
In the meantime, shall I do my number one?
I think you should.
Okay, guys. Thought deep and hard about this. I think you're all going to appreciate it. Yeah. Lawrence Phillips.
I'm trying to figure out if the tattoo above his belly button says "we can" or "pecan."
So I'm glad you pointed that out because that is the reason why I chose this uniform. Not just that. Not just that. It's because remember back in the 90s when they used to wear uniforms that kind of went just right at their rib cage to show all their abs.
Half jerseys. The half jerseys.
Crop tops is what girls call them.
But here's the thing.
I love that. Show off your abs. I mean, you're an athlete. What do you need that covered for? I want to see your abs.
But here's the thing. For you get abs on some of the guys, like your skill players. But for your linemen, you don't get abs.
You wear an undershirt Okay, that protects. Wear like some Spanx or something. I don't know.
This may be the last the top 5 that we do this offseason that has to do with anything clothing related, because if I have to hear the word Spanx, I've been doing this show for a lot of years and I've never heard the word Spanx.
You also have not had a female co-host, panelist, whatever you want to call me.
No. You trust me.
It's just
you're a co-host until you lose it. You're a co-host until you're not, I guess. No. Let's see. Fred says Minnie wants us to go back to these, at least for quarterbacks, at least the starter from Hawaii.
Yeah, we ought to.
I don't think that's a good idea.
And the jersey is actually a jersey. You know, it's that what you liked about that number thing where you can see through the jersey. You could see kind of the pads and the form underneath. Number 1.
So, okay, I'm the aesthetic of it, the style is not the worst. I don't care. I mean, it's fine. I think what is more startling to me, even though I've watched football then and I watch football now, is how much smaller the shoulder pads are now. Like those are, freight trucks on top of his shoulders. So
they were worried about the injuries to the shoulders back then. Okay.
Justin says we started the show with birthday Spanx. Let's go. Thanks, Justin. That reminds me, I got to get upstairs. No kidding.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. All right. So we had a particular individual in the comments say, I'm pulling up an image for comparison's sake. Oh, gosh dang it. Stupid. Some are just not compatible with. Okay, there we go. This one, I'm probably not going to just, I'm just going to throw up here. Okay. So Heron, make sure I get the name right. The Heron XI says Nebraska Chrome is the best uniform. And I cannot disagree with that more. Do you remember what the Chrome looks like specifically? Like it came up a lot in my searching here.
Yeah. White? Oh, because you didn't like the white.
It's all white. The surrender whites are bad for business. If that could be tweaked,
how would you tweak it?
I would do away with the white. White is weakness. That just nothing about this wowzer excites me in any capacity. Like, give me the ones we had last year that had the blue line around the numbers for the 100th anniversary of Memorial Stadium. Give me that before you give me all whites again, please.
Is it
sponsored by Reynolds Wrap? Tweak
it
by not being that.
Our guys don't look very tough? Because, like I was saying earlier, with the psychology behind color, white uniforms do not look very tough. Yeah, they look all clean, but it's not going to portray a toughness.
So someone once had done a one of the Husker board posts, and then this is not updated. It's from 2012. But at that time, in any alternate uniform from the Devaney era, including my all reds, so full disclosure, like I know that, what I'm talking about, or one of my favorites is on the list as well. But somebody actually did the numbers, and I'm sure, again, with the last 12 years, it's not like it's gotten better. by average. But all of the alternates, we were 4-13 in an alternate uniform since the Devaney era, since the first time we tried something different, which was in 1966 in the Orange Bowl. Someone actually went through and again.
What's the number again? 13 and what?
4-13.
4-13. Are you kidding me?
As of 2012. So again, tack on another 10 losses probably.
Wow.
Justin disagrees with me. Everybody's allowed to once. Says last year's were the second worst. Highlander Gun likes the chrome. I understand that I might be on the island here. I
like it, but I get what you're saying as far as seeing it on a field. It does not. It's a nice look, but is it football?
No, really. the thing that they throw and catch is the football. What they're wearing are clothes.
The aesthetic for football. When I think football, right? RDV. Relentless, disciplined, violent.
Yes.
You don't think white. You don't think white. You're right.
I'm reminded of the movie Deadpool. Did you ever see Deadpool, Minnie? Is that something that would be on your radar?
Never heard of it.
Ryan Reynolds? Really? They're coming out with the third movie this summer. It's going to be pretty big. It's called Deadpool and Wolverine. Anyway.
Okay. Oh, that one. Yeah, I remember you talking about it. I looked it up. I might watch it.
Anyway, it's hilarious. It's great fun, not for the whole family, but it's great fun nonetheless. And Deadpool wears red because when he bleeds, you can't tell because he's wearing red already. That's why when he shoots a guy, he's like, oh, that guy is smart. He wore the brown pants because, he shit himself. So if you're wearing all red, and if you're out there and you're muscling through and they can't see that you're bleeding, it's pretty smart.
It is. So. They don't see the grass stains. They don't see the dirt stains. You're right. Darker colors are important.
Fred says Ryan Reynolds is kind of like the Dylan of Hollywood.
Yes, he is.
Fred also says that John Johnston, our founder and fearless leader, made the 1966 uniforms, had fighting shit asses on the front and shit bag on the back. And hey, it's just like Herb Brooks says in Miracle, the name on the front of the jersey is a hell of a lot more important than one on the back. So shit asses, fighting shit asses.
Did you notice that none of our uniforms had an N on the front?
Yeah, we don't need it.
Okay.
I don't think you need an N on the front.
Comment.
You just said that comment.
Yeah, he was talking about. I
thought about putting a uniform in there that had the N on the front.
He's talking about because a hockey sweater is different than a football jersey. And the movie Miracle is about hockey. Do you know anything about the Lake Placid 1980 Olympics? Do you believe in miracles? Yes.
Okay.
One of the most famous sports calls of all time. One of the United States, which was made up primarily of kids just out of college, went up against I'm not trying to be a dick, I promise. I'm just trying to educate. They went up against a Soviet team that had not lost in something like 20 years in international play, be it Olympics or world champions, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And they beat them in the Olympic semifinals. And I think this is like the height of the Cold War, so it wasn't just for fame and glory on the ice, but like kind of like the race, the space race, though.
Really?
Only if
I feel
you
like I'm
read
getting
it.
ganged up on here.
You just have to read it.
Fred Sacco says, why would we have an N on the front? That's weird. And have another White Claw, Minnie.
Okay, Fred. I told you. Your quote just said, the name on the front of the jersey is more important than the name on the back. Meaning who the team is on the front, and the player's last name is on the back.
Correct.
And I just said none of our favorite uniforms had an N on the front. That's it. That's all I was pointing out, guys.
Hold on.
It does look weird. It does look weird. I agree with Fred. It does look weird. That's why it wasn't on my list either.
All right, hold on. Save image as USA.
What are you
So again,
doing?
for context, so you know exactly what we're talking about. The name on the front of the jersey. Why are you doing this to me? Not you. You're fine. Where the hell did that damn image go? File. Save as. No! Son of a bitch! I'm fine. It's fine.
Okay, in the meantime, Justin Raji says that movie is Miracle on Ice.
No, it was a Miracle. The movie is just Miracle. See? They have the name on the front of their jersey is USA, which is a hell of a lot more important than the name on the back. But college football is not set up that way. College football doesn't have names on the front or period. I feel like we're walking this in circles.
And Roger Moore says, pull up a chair. This is going to be a long story.
Aaron Keene says, I'm still laughing at Minnie's face when Greg referenced the 80s. I was around for the 80s. Minnie was also around for the 80s and more of the 70s than me. So
he's such a liar. You are getting away with a hell of a lot.
No. Hold on. Time out. Were you alive in the 70s? Yes or no? I don't need to know what year. Were you alive in the 70s? Yes or no? Yeah. Okay. I was born in 82. So there's nothing wrong with what I said. There's no lie detected when I said that you were around for more of the 70s than I was.
It's true.
I'm not.
I own it.
I own it. Trying to be a shitbag.
Hey, you know what I own? Here's what I own. The fact that the 70s had better music in it than the 80s. I'll own that.
We don't have enough time for this conversation tonight.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying.
Sorry, Justin. Justin says Miracle on Ice released in 1981. I was talking about the Disney movie Miracle released in 20 whatever. So my apologies. See, I can apologize. I apologize to you, Minnie. I apologize to you if I offended you in any way.
I'm sure. It's okay, Craig. I'll get you next time.
I'm not going to do it.
Yeah,
no, sir.
Thank you.
I mean, come on now. All right, moving on. We have some starred comments. Fred says that if he takes over the show upon my untimely demise, that he'll keep you on, Minnie, because he fears you stalking him. Seems valid.
Why would you fear me? I'm such a nice stalker.
Oh, you're serious?
Yeah. No, I am. Yeah.
All right. The other birthday boy, man. Sorry, Jason. Jason Reeves says, okay, Greg, give us a professional opinion. Wilson Dittman says there's no way we hire a coach from the outside. I had to look up who Wilson Dittman is. Hope that doesn't make me a shit ass.
He's a new YouTuber kid who is going to Creighton.
Oh.
And he kind of just started this YouTube show, and he does a great job. It's like in his, he's just a kid, but it's really informative. And he kind of knows what's going on. If we did, it would be somebody like that Dana Holgerson.
I think some of the theories that we had, about the assistant grad assistant getting bumped up a little. I think that's a better option. You're talking about July. You probably have a very limited window as far as bringing someone in from the outside, but at the same time, you know the chemistry of your staff as it is, and I don't really see if there's big need to upset the apple cart, so to speak. So,
yeah,
I did. Roger Moore. I did Google Wilson Dittman. So,
okay, wow.
Fred says, Roger, I Greggled it, and it was just a picture of John yelling at Craig. That's not far off.
John's going to come back all zen. He's going to be
not
ready for the football season. Yeah, because he's spent like a week fishing on a lake.
Mm-hmm. But he had to be in Canada.
Huh?
So he had to go to Canada for it, though. So,
yeah, the Canadians are nice.
All right. Fred with travel tips says, Greg, go to Herman, Missouri. Great wine, whiskey, and beer, and German food. You love it because you're one of those fat white guys many stereotypes.
I'm not trying to stereotype people.
Which is great because I fell into the trap.
When I was ordering the t-shirts for our Chatterfield, I'm like, what sizes should I order?
That's commitment.
It is. It is.
Send your invoice to me, and I'll make sure that you get reimbursed.
Oh no, this is just part of your birthday fun.
Oh,
I wanted it to be a party. So, yeah. So
I've been to Herman, Missouri. Actually, I was there 10 years ago right now. My wife and I spent an extended weekend over there. Before we had any kids, and a little bed and breakfast. We went to a couple wineries, went to a couple breweries, went to a couple, like German food spots. Like one of the places that was downtown was called the Wurst House, Wurst, like a bunch of different types of like gourmet bratwurst. It was great. We watched the fireworks over the river. On the 4th of July, we did some zip lining. I was a little bit lighter back 10 years ago, so didn't have to get like an emergency fat guy harness. It was great. We had an awesome time in Herman, Missouri. I would definitely recommend anybody check out Herman, Missouri if they're like a few hours travel away. So thank you, Fred. Great travel advice. Justin Rogers says, thank goodness for Wilson Dittman. We need to replace Connor with someone.
Justin Rogers. What the heck? Gosh.
I read that just for the reaction. That's on me. How many Justin. Polynesians were there in Herman though? I didn't see any.
I feel like I don't even know you. I don't even know Justin anymore.
Do you though? I mean, like, are you friends outside of the Chatterfields? Like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, we hang out in other chats. Him and I. Oh. It's him and
I. Now you both are cheating on me in other chats, huh?
No, we see each other like on the Husker sites. That's not cheating.
There's only one Husker site, and it's Coordination.
That's not true. There's the official Husker site.
No.
How can you disagree with that? Come on.
Because there's two, like, two inside, everything, you got to watch out. You get too deep state, you're going to find it's all propaganda, and it's not as fair and balanced as coordination. So just be careful.
Well, I guess we're very fair. We don't judge based on anything other than fairness here.
Speaking of fairness, Aaron Keene says, to be fair, I only count the years Minnie's been a Husker fan as her age.
And thank you, Aaron Keene. You are my new favorite person. Thank you.
In that case, she needs to put the White Claw down because I don't think she's old enough to drink.
Okay.
Fred says Minnie is a closet Connor show advocate. # Min crazes. Or Min crazed. Sorry.
Min crazed.
Are you gonna take up a panelist gig somewhere else?
No.
Just checking. This is Coronation's the only Husker shows I do. So, James Borman says the Husker Radio Network is too ass kissy. I'll tell you, there's something about that Nebraska media. They're all a little ass kissy. Good. We talked about him. May he rest in peace.
I don't know if you can say this. You're not even allowed. It's like against our religion. And James Boardman should know that.
To call the media out on their bullshit?
My gosh. Okay.
I mean, look, I've never asked for credentials. There may come a time when I have the time and the ability to travel to go and seek out credentials, but it's not this day, to quote Aragorn. Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, for all of you nerds out there. Anyway, but the media is a little too, let's sugarcoat everything. Let's not investigate. Let's not seek out any potential problems. Let's just wait. The Nebraska media is very reactive. And I'm not saying that they have to go looking for problems where problems don't exist. But they have been a little too, we have to keep the subscribers happy, so we're only going to print the good news. Yeah. That's the Nebraska media in a nutshell.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you got that out.
I'm sorry. You're not from Nebraska. You don't know these things.
Greg. Okay, number one, you're calling me out on my age. Number two, now you're calling me out on where I'm from.
I didn't call you out on your age. I just simply said that you experienced more of the 70s than I did.
How dare you call me out on not being a Nebraskan? I couldn't choose where I'm from, but if I could, it's from Nebraska. It's from Nebraska. In my heart, that's where I'm from.
I'm not trying to upset you. I'm not. It's not you, it's them.
Okay. All right.
Thanks for the book. I'm not trying to upset you, Minnie. I apologize. Apologize to you. I apologize to everybody. That's what I'm really good at, is apologizing. All right. Here, well, hold on. Fred says, "Oh shit, the Mad Dog White Claws have taken hold." Mad Dog. I know you know about Mad Dog 50/50.
No.
Okay.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
What is it?
You're too young. It is a very potent alcoholic beverage that does not taste good and has nasty side effects.
Oh.
So.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't know of it.
Justin says Husker Sports Nightly radio is supposed to be like a media news station, or I think is not supposed to be like a media news station. It's meant to uplift the players. I wouldn't consider HSN media. I like Sports Nightly. Like I don't. I was referencing more like the newspaper guys who've in order to keep their jobs, they just suckle at the teat and don't say anything bad.
Well, I think that's part of the agreement. Are you talking about like the after show where Greg Sharp has to sit there with the coach after a loss and he can't say like, what were you thinking? That was a bonehead play. Like that? Is that what you're kind of referring to?
Yeah, pretty well.
Like that? Yeah. Well, I agree with that.
You're right, Aaron. It is 2020. I added a few tens. Fred says, in Greg's world's 50-50. How he feels about Minnie. No. Stop it.
Greg.
I didn't say it. It's Fred. You're the bee's knees.
Yes, tell me more.
I don't know what that means.
Tell me more. No, but keep it coming. We're just starting. Come on.
We're 2 hours and 6 minutes in. We're not just starting. No, I didn't think so. Okay. Anything else, Minnie? I mean, this has been. See, it's his fault. He's admitting it. Josh is going to miss. He's going to really kick himself that he missed out on the show tonight.
True.
Aaron is a big fan. It says you get points for the book and the shirt giveaway.
Thank you, Aaron.
And I am here once again. Providing my hot takes.
Greg.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry.
We love you. All I was gonna bring like a keyboard in or something so that I could play Happy Birthday for you, but I didn't.
Do you know? I mean, do you know how to play Happy Birthday on a keyboard?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I didn't know if you were musically inclined. I'm not.
I took up playing the piano when none of my kids wanted to play a piano. I bought this when they were all like when they were first born, thinking one day I'm going to have a daughter who plays the piano. It was my dream, and nobody has any interest.
No.
So then
they're all athletically minded, right?
No.
No.
Not the youngest. No, not the youngest. But anyways, so I took lessons.
That's awesome. I mean, I did take lessons years ago, but this is how I played.
Oh, no. No.
Aaron Keene says, serious question, and this is probably going to have to be one that you get from not the two of us, but the Chatterfields will certainly step in and help you out.
James Boardman.
What was the name of the host of the weekly Husker football wrap-up show in the 80s? And while that question gets
I feel like I know this, but I can't think right now. I know this answer. It was This is a good trivia question.
Mm-hmm. Highlander Gun says, I was going to shoot fireworks tonight for your birthday, Greg, but I didn't. Well, don't shoot them off for me. Shoot them off for Jason.
It was a thought. It was a thought that counts.
I think Jason popped in and did his obligatory.
He's off celebrating his birthday somewhere.
We do have an answer from James Boardman. Midweek was Don Gill and John Melton. So there you go, Aaron. You have an answer.
There you go. James Boardman.
Highlander Gun says Art Vandally. Don Gill, that's the guy. And Fred says Minnie up the ante. Greg, for Minnie's birthday, you need to overnight her a cake with Dylan popping out, singing Happy Birthday, Mrs. President, wearing only a smile.
There we go. And a crop top.
That's the White Claw talking now. It used to be above board, but 1.5 White Claws in her, and
yeah. No, I didn't finish. I can't drink a full one, but I can drink like up to about here. No, seriously, I don't like drinking a full anything. I don't know why.
Yeah, like a cup of water.
Yeah, I have water here too. See,
Can
this is what I do. I drink everything to about here. I don't know why. Just can't finish the drink.
I'm a completionist. I can't. I'm stuck watching TV shows that I don't really like just because I started them and I got to see how it ends. So.
See, and I only go about 75, 60% in, and I'm done. I don't need to finish it. My husband calls them lefties.
Is it leftover? Well, thanks for being 100% in the 5 Heart Podcast, Minnie.
You're welcome.
All right. That'll do it, I think, for this episode. We actually started on time, so we're going to end on time. And by that, I mean 2 hours and 11 minutes later. What a great time we've had tonight. And I didn't even, you know what, just for fun, I'm gonna do the rest of the show in my fun classes.
There we go.
I'm gonna kill the lights. There we go. We're even gonna make them jazzy for you. All right. So everything's blurry now, but that's okay. We had a lot of fun this week, and appreciate each and every one of you coming out celebrating with me. Hey, 42 trips around the sun. That's got to count for something. And Minnie, thank you so much for the thoughtful gift. I hope you know that definitely was not necessary. But God bless your heart, and everybody for coming and hanging out with us on an unusual night. But we'll be back next week on Thursday, and then we're gonna have to figure out what to do the following week because I'll be out of town and I'm not going to be doing the show from a hotel room with my family. It's just not going to work out. We'll figure something out. Maybe John, Andy, somebody will be around. Minnie, I'm sure you'll be here because I know you love doing this and we love having you. So thank you, Minnie. Thank you all. Thanks for helping me close out my birthday in tremendous fashion. So for my co-host and friend, Minnie Hunt, for me, Greg Mahachko, and everybody at Coordination, thank you. God bless you all. Remember that each and every week we remind you, I almost forgot, but I remembered that we remind you each and every week that 5 Heart is all the heart you need. Minnie?
Yes. And in honor of Brian, go Big Red, Big Red, Big Red, Big Red.
He is honored, trust me.